Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of South Asian Success. Today, I have someone with me that I actually met on social media, then got to meet in person, and actually got to see her beautiful home goods and handicrafts in person. Really wonderful to have you here today, Kanika. Kanika is the founder of Sukoon, and I would love for you to just say hello to everyone and tell us about your journey.
Parul, thank you so much. And I loved meeting you in person, which I didn't think is going to be so soon after knowing you on Instagram. But yeah, thank you so much for having me here. I had a very nice time chatting with you when we met last time, talking a little bit about Sukoon. So let me reintroduce myself. I am Kanika, founder of Sukoon. Spoon is a home and lifestyle brand where we are trying to bridge the gap between our cultures, Indian culture and American, where we are right now. So that's what we are trying to do by bringing spirituality, wellness, everything in our handcrafted products, imported and handcrafted in India.
I love that. And yes, I had a chance to see some of the products live in Chicago, and it was wonderful to just get to actually see a bit of what you bring. I want to hear more about the products. I want to hear more about the journey, but let's talk and start with you because you actually were not somebody that did this kind of a career before, right? Like many of us, you had a significant kind of day job career. Tell us a little bit about that, your marketing work and working in India, and what kind of made this shift for you? Why did you make this shift into entrepreneurship?
So it's very interesting. My journey has been about, evolving, rebuilding from scratch, uh, you know, a few times now. So uh, I am a person talking just about myself, nothing to do with Sukoon for a minute. I was a person, I should say, who was very scared, who didn't like changes,
Yeah.
didn't know how to pivot because I am a person who plans things. I'm a planner and I want everything to go like is supposed to be like what it says in my plan. It should be like that. I didn't know how to handle changes. I did not. I have evolved a lot as a person because at this point, we should know how to pivot. COVID taught us a lot. I give it to COVID for teaching us, many things, you know, evolving us as a person, I would say. And so coming back to how I started and how Sukoon was born. So I was born and raised in India. I had a career in hospitality sales. I had a great job. I'd reached a point in my career, at a great point in my career. And then I met my husband, which was online. He was here, I was in India, and know, we decided to get married. And little did I know that my life would change completely after moving here. In my word, in my head, I had planned everything. Okay, when I move here, I'm going to get a similar job, maybe with a different. I used to work in airlines back in India, taking care of their corporate sales. So I was like, I can easily find similar jobs. There are a lot many airlines is, people kept telling me you might have to look at a different career when you move to the US. I was like, no, I don't think so. I have a plan. I have a plan. So I will get back to my industry. I've already at a certain point in my career, and I didn't want to accept the change. That's what it was. When I landed in this country, I had to start from scratch, of course, like everybody, most of us have to. I had to pick a job which was basically starting from scratch. What I did uh, at that time, what I did 10 years ago in my life. So I had to start from there. Uh, Sales support, person in one of the companies in New York. The good part was I was in New York City, Fifth Avenue. I had the best office, but still starting from scratch. So I'm just, know, and that's how I started career in this country. And it's, maybe a year after, I was given an opportunity to be in sales for a financial company, a financial services company. Offered a role while I was in my previous job. And then I was like, okay, they're giving me a flexibility to work from home a couple of days and go to office. At that time, I was pregnant with my first kid, and I was like, okay, this I think this is the right time, and this opportunity came at the right time. I was like, okay, let me try this. I studied for that. I started that job. It was going great. I had never thought that I have a financial career, or had I thought, and but everything went well, everything was going well. And we were asked to move to Florida from my husband's job. That's when, we moved to Florida. And while we were here, my job was going fine. COVID hit. It was going fine. We were just trying to figure out how to do our meetings on Zoom like everybody else. Still, everything was going great. And then, funny thing, never thought of having a business in my life because I was happy in what I was doing. But my husband always had this idea that we should do something more, but we didn't know what. We just always had that my in our head that we need to do something more. And you know, story short, we were going to buy a house, and we started shopping for that house. We could not find the kind of decor pieces that we would want in our house. So, like, okay, I we think we need to go to India for our home shopping, and that's when we went to India, and we started looking for some spiritual home decor pieces which had stories to tell, pieces with some meaning which we couldn't find here. We wanted everything was handcrafted, in India. So we come back with those pieces. We shop, we get those pieces shipped here, get to know the house that we had put the contract on, it was gone. We could not get it because there was times everybody was fighting for the properties. So we could not get that house. Now we had those pieces lying rented in our rented place, and we were like, what to do with these pieces? I was still working my job in my financial sector. I was like, okay, I have this pop-up, let me use these pieces to decorate my booth, the pop-up that I'm doing. And we had those pieces there. My looked the best booth in that entire vision. And people started coming and asking me about those pieces. Where are those pieces from? Can we buy those pieces? Me and my husband was also there supporting me. And we looked at each other. We were like, okay, let's just sell it. It's okay. It's okay. We don't even have our house, so it's fine. And Parul, we were sold out of those pieces within like an hour.
Amazing. And I can't bel well, I can't believe that there's a lot to unpack in general on what you shared because one is you said you started with I'm somebody who wasn't very good at change, and there was so much change already in your story. From every journey, we all go through this, right? Of a like growth, like personal growth that just came from moving to a new country, from city to city, getting a house, not getting a house, right? Or thinking you're going to get a house, not getting a house, and then accidentally stumbling into business and selling out on thing that you didn't have a plan for, right? But let me ask you about this. So you were genuinely surprised that you sold out. What was the interest like? Who were the buyers? Who were the people that were picking it up?
So we were surprised. And yes, coming back to the change, that's why, I Mom used to always tell me, whatever you're going to run from, it's going to be in your face. Every time you try to run away from something, it's going to come in your face. And I saw that in I've been seeing in every step of my life. Every time I was so afraid of changes, like you said, one thing after the other. Coming back to my pop up, people, this was a South Asian event. That particular pop up that I did was just with my pieces that I had got for myself. So these people were majorly South Asians. And the funny part is one of the person who bought two of the pieces that I had, I didn't have a lot. I just decorated my booth with those few pieces, maybe 10, 12. I don't even remember the count, maybe 12 pieces or 15. So this lady, she's like, "Oh, you have such a nice piece." Because I think it was a Buddha statue, the big statue. And she was like, why can you please get me some god idols? Buying that. And we had not even thought about god idols at that time. We didn't have a single god idol at that time. We were like, yes, why not? Because that business spark, that entrepreneurship, it just happened like that over there. And we were like, yes, we'll try. We should be able to do it. Let's do it for you. We used to get pictures. We were here, we had our vendors back in India, and we used to get those manufacturers and vendors. So we used to get these pieces, the pictures for this lady, this client of ours. We were like, okay, do you like this? You like that? And she loved the pieces that we were just showing on pictures to her. And he asked us to redo her entire mandir, redid her entire temple without even starting. We didn't even have a name for our business. We, like, nowhere, we did her entire temple. I customized some pieces for her. I did pieces for her, which I never thought I would. So yeah, that's how Sukoon
Cool.
was born.
So, I guess tell us about the product line. What do you so if somebody's going to learn about the business, what do you sell currently? What is your plan or what is your inspiration? What are you hoping to get into? Different maybe elements that you're bringing. Tell us a little bit about what you offer right now.
Absolutely. So we are into, like, we started with spiritual home decor pieces, which were Buddha statues primarily. And then we ventured into idols. So right now, our current range, we have marble, brass, and copper god idols. Starts from a 1 inch murti and it goes up to 5 feet all. So we have all those collections in pure marble, brass, and copper. Then, it's always a learning. Every day we learn with our business. Our clients, we were very open to feedbacks because this business just happened. And then whatever our customers were telling us, we were listening every time with each and every pop-up. Started with murtis. Now murtis are expensive. When we talk about marble, brass, these are very expensive murtis. But everybody doesn't want to spend that kind of money. People were like, why don't you have, decoration piece, like the decoratives, the festive decorations? That, we can also buy something from you. You just have a thing which is so expensive, not some other pieces, because you have a good taste. Your murtis are so beautiful. And so you're like, okay, we need festive decor. Okay, you know, we need those rangolis, we need the hangings, we need anything related to a home temple. Any South Asian, for each and every South Asian or household, we need something which goes in the temple. That's what then it was. Year after, we had everything you need for a temple or you need for or your puja. So that's where we were. Till we did an event a year before, Florida. We did this pop up, and 70% of the population there are non Indians. we were like, when we saw that, we thought it was a South Asian event, but there were non-South Asian people there. And we were like, oh my God, how are we going to survive this event? And Parul, you will not believe, I still feel that event in me. All our sales were to non-Indians, and everybody bought these and spiritual pieces from me. That was an eye opener for us. We were like, oh, really? How?
Yeah.
How? And people were so curious to know about these gods. They had some knowledge. All these clients who came to us had some knowledge. They wanted to know more and more. They wanted to invest their money, their time in spirituality. So I'm not talking about selling a Ganesha to a non-Indian person. A lot of people know about Ganesha. I
Mhm.
was talking about selling Shiv Parivar. It was new to me at that time. Person coming and asking me, and a non-Indian person coming and asking me for a Shiv Parivar.
I think that would feel unexpected, right? You would think, wow, does somebody from another culture really want to buy this religious idol, right? So it's like, that it's a really interesting thing. And for those that are listening, I think that's really how you stumbled sort of into this career, genuinely finding interest from a really broad spectrum. Tell me, like, what are the lessons that you've learned when it comes to building this business and evolving your strategy? Because you have maybe had something in your mind of what you were going to sell. Many of us do this, right? It's like we start a business, we start with, I'm going to do this. And I had to pivot my actually business very similarly. I'm going to sell this. And then I found out like that thing is maybe not the best thing to sell, or it's not the best market. So what are some ways that you all have kind of been pivoting your business? I'm curious, or what are you still learning about the business that you're evolving?
So that was our Murthy's era. We saw some interest
I love
from our
it.
buyers, non-Indian buyers too. Then we were like, no, this is not it. We are no People will buy Murtys just once, again and again. We need something more. Oh, last year, because our business is about its home and lifestyle brand, so talking about your business, right? We ventured into copper bottles, copper drinkware, elevated our uh, copper bottles. We did our research. There are a lot of people selling copper bottles, which like a copper bottle. Wanted to, bring this product just to people who are in their 50, 60, because that's when doctors are recommending you to use copper, more and more copper in your daily lifestyle. But we wanted to be a lifestyle of a youngster, our age group, people in their age when they have joint pains, arthritis, not just them, but for everybody. So we got these designer water bottles with various prints. It comes as, summerish prints and spring prints. So we were like, let's try this out. So that
Mhm.
was last year. We did our first event. We were sold out. We had to get another shipment and another shipment. So that is one thing I feel is for everybody, not just a spiritual product or a religious product or anything. It's not nothing related to anyone's culture. It's one product which it talks wellness. It talks
Yeah.
heritage
Yeah.
for everybody. So that's what we wanted. That we still need to stick to our roots, but get something is for everybody.
Yeah.
We um I would like to show you. This
Yeah.
is
I was gonna say,
our
can you
cover
share it?
bottle. This is my bottle. I've been using this for months and months, and have a lot of designs. We are we used to do these retail pop-ups. are, for the first time this year, we'll be doing a wholesale pop-up for all the brands, like bigger brands like Macy's, Bloomingdale's, and everybody. So they come as buyers to this wholesale pop-up. And we are kissing our copper drinkware, are launching our collection for just summer and spring, but also Christmas. So you would see
Gosh, yeah.
prints of these copper bottles soon.
I love that. Well, it's great, and I mean, they are beautiful. I've seen the range of them that you have. They're stunning, and I think there's such a market for that. Like, I think you really hit on something interesting. Like, it's like you started doing something very much focused on the home, and now it's something that people, yes, keep in their home, but carry around all day. Like, I carry around my water bottle everywhere I go, right? So it also becomes like a symbol of you and not just your home anymore, which is really interesting. That's really exciting. I mean, I remember my mother-in-law had bought a copper water bottle from India years ago, and I was like, "Oh, I wanna get one," and seeing yours, it was amazing, just the beautiful range that you have. I love that, and I love that as a pivot, and I think as a business owner, we often can't even imagine what our next steps are until they present themselves in an interesting way. Well,
That's
tell us a little bit about being a business owner, right? So you're balancing this business, you're balancing family, you're balancing other career kind of elements. Tell us what strategies do you use for your own mental health, time management? How are you doing that on your end?
if I want to give you an honest answer, it's very difficult. I am still trying to figure out how to manage everything every day. I wake up, trying to see how am I going to do all of this. The key is that, so I still have that job. I have that has become a part-time job for me. So till the time Coon is a level, it's able to pay all my bills and take me to the places I want to visit, still keep my job and keep pursuing my passion. So I have to divide my days. I have to decide if I am giving 3 days to work and 2 days to business, or I'm dividing my days 9 to 2 to my job, 2 to 7 to my business. So it is planning for each and every day. So
Yeah.
that's how it is for me. Also, how I able to, keep myself sane, managing home, business, job. I follow Buddhism as a philosophy. So I meditate, I chant every morning, have these meditation sessions weekends. So it helps me a lot. It
Wow.
gives me clarity, focus. Otherwise it's not easy. Not
Yeah.
easy. Yeah.
I went to so I'll be honest, I have not found meditation practice, but I do like yoga, so I really enjoy that to keep my mental health, but this weekend I went to a meditation practice and he said, I think the coach, he said, people are always trying to feel something in the meditation process. And he's like, sometimes it's not even about feeling something. It's about just letting yourself not think about it. Right. And take a little
Exactly.
rest of the mind and let your mind wander naturally. And I thought that was so interesting because it also can help the creative process when you are able to have a little moment of peace or boredom even, right? So it gave me a different perspective, so thanks for sharing that. I love that about your
Yes, but whenever, like, the idea of copper bottles, right? It doesn't come like that. You have to, for me at least, I have to sit down, chant, and you will get all the answers I feel when you're in that state, chanting or meditating. That's when you get a lot of clarity in your head.
Yeah, makes sense. Does it truly does, and I think that's why, like, people feel like they have their best thoughts when they're in the shower or something because you're literally, like, in a moment of not doing something in especially our uber connected world.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, just kind of maybe a piece of advice for somebody. If somebody's aspiring to do a creative business, right? Try something new. What's a piece of advice that you would give them in getting started? and maybe overcoming some of the challenges that people have, which is just, maybe I feel scared, I'm not ready, imposter syndrome. I'm kind of curious if you have any thoughts there.
I would say just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Because you will always be scared. There will always be ifs and buts. There will always be if it fails. What if I lose my money? What if there is something else that I can do? You will always have those questions. You just have to take the first step. Just the first step. I would also like to say that for your skills and passion that you have, find something where you need to proud or acknowledge what you are good at.
Mm.
Is very, very important because we, we lot of times we don't even acknowledge what we are good at. Everybody has that hidden talent or something that they are like. Some people are very good at dealing with the customers. Some people are very good when they are at the back end. Some people are good at numbers. Everybody has that one skill set. Everybody would have that one skill set whatever you are passionate about, just find that thing, and you will see you will do wonders.
I love that. That's such a good piece of advice. And it definitely is grounding to folks to say it's not easy. I mean, no entrepreneurship journey is easy, as you've shared, right? There's a lot to try to juggle. But if it's something that you're truly passionate about, it's going to also give you fulfillment in a new, different way, right? So finding that is wonderful.
I do a job, right? Business is very scary and it's not easy. It's not rosy as it looks. It's a difficult business. The amount of satisfaction I get and I hear people saying, "No, I never thought I'd be able to make my mandir in this country. You
Mhm.
bring back my childhood memories in my grandparents' house." So the kind it gives you another level of satisfaction. Had at many, many, many instances people cry in my booth, looking at the murtis, looking at the pieces. The amount of appreciation we have got from people and support and love, it is unbelievable. You can never, even you reach your topmost level in your professional career, yes, you would make a lot of money, but you there is no way you can get same kind of satisfaction what you get doing your own.
Oh, that's such a great, oh, how nice. You truly are able to touch people. You don't think about that. No, I mean, I wouldn't have connected that, but that's such a deep story. And it's a story that shows that even your passion to start and fulfill your own home with, artifacts that were close to you that touched your heart also touched other people's hearts.
People's heart, yes. I if we have time, I want to share one experience.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So it's from my recent pop that I did in Virginia. So we travel a lot for our pop-ups because we want people to touch and feel the products that we have because of the nature of the products, right? I did a pop-up in Virginia last month. There is this lady comes to my booth. There is a big Krishna statue. She comes, she said, I love this statue. What is the price? I quote her the price, whatever the price was written. She's like, no, this is too expensive. It's out of my budget, but I love this murti. She goes. So she goes. Then they went, the dance performances and everything that was going on inside. Comes back after 2 or 3 hours and still the murti is there. Nobody else has bought that murti. So it's still lying there. It's a big, and a half, 3 feet murti. And she goes, "Oh, you still have it, which means there is something which is calling me, or maybe it is for me." And I was like, okay, what's the price now? I said, the price is the same because it's very hard for me to bring the murtis first from India, then bring from Florida to Virginia. It adds up the cost. So it's not something that I can work on. But she really loved the murti. She was like, you need to do something about it. Me thinking, lot of times, like I said, things don't go as per the plan. So you have to think out of the box, or sometimes you have to give in, right? There are, excuse
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are times when we have to give discounts. We have to, because I'm thinking of my cost of taking that murti back to Florida. It adds up the cost. So I've did that calculation in my mind, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to give you some discount. And she's like, it's still so high, but I'm not able to leave this murti. And I told her was, you go stand in front of the Krishna and ask him if, should be taking home or not. You will get your answer there. She's standing looking at the Murti, talking to the Murti probably, because you have that belief. A lot of people have that strong belief, and she's talking to the Murti. I'm standing behind her. And I don't know what she said to the Murti. I have no idea because she was quiet. This gentleman who comes, he goes, oh, this Murti is yours because you touched the Murti. This Murti is yours. Voice comes, I'm standing here. This guy is here. And he said that 3 times.
What?
And the lady turns around. She's crying, has
Oh,
teary eyes, like she's crying. And she's like, not understand what just happened. So didn't I. And she tells me, Kanika, what I asked, I told Krishna, just give me hint, just give me a sign that you're coming home with me. And this voice
oh,
comes from behind. So
amazing.
I've had so many of such experiences, I can't tell you. And that's when I feel time there are hurdles, and we are like, should we even continue this business or not? Because, so many times it happens. These are the moments which keep bringing back to our where we belong, I would say.
My gosh. I know that's so powerful. I mean, I would have never imagined that for this business. I think I often think about what, home, it's beautiful things you bring into your home, but that connection, that deep connection is
Yes.
just so incredible. And I love that you're able to build that and give people something that they can not only just take home, but they really connect with. Right. And that's so wonderful. Well, I hope to see you again in Chicago, and maybe I will get to experience some of this from some of the lovely items that you have. But I think this is such a cool story. Thank you for sharing. I mean,
Thank
really,
you.
we got into the deep crevices of why do people choose to go on an entrepreneurial path, but also why do people what connects a buyer to a particular business, right? And I think you found something really unique. So I wish you all the best in the future of your business. And I think there's so much to learn from this journey. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Parul. Thank you for letting me share my story.
It was really wonderful. Well, everyone, we're going to share the link so you can also shop Sukoon yourself, and see some of the offerings that Kanika has. I know that you said you're kind of expanding out your web presence as well, so people will be able to find more and more. And you're also on Instagram, so we'll share that, so that everyone can find you and find their pieces to connect with.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. Hope you had a great time listening to this episode of South Asian Success, and I look forward to the next one. Take care. Thank you for listening to South Asian Success. If this episode resonated with you, we hope that you'll share it with a friend or someone else who could resonate with it as well. And if you love what we're doing and building, please do rate us on whatever podcast method you stream on. Any reviews will help us grow and improve this platform. And if you are interested in joining us or talking more about your journey, please be sure to reach out. Take care.